Hello friends, welcome back. This week we are going to be making some friendship bracelets. Now you remember back when I had given you some embroidery floss? Well, yeah, let's go ahead and use some of that floss again to make these very cool bracelets that use the D knot that we used before, but it adds also the 4 knot to make this cool design where it kind of looks like little stitching going along the length of the bracelet. And it's really fun to make. So I am going to be using these minis. You can use yarn. You can of course use the embroidery floss that I gave you. Any kind of string will do. I've even made these with ribbon, like really thin ribbon. So let's begin. I take contrasting colors so you can see. Like I said, I'm using yarn so that you can really see what I'm doing here. And I cut 3 strands, okay? The strand that is going to be in the middle, I like to use a little bit thicker, so I might, if I'm using embroidery floss, use 2, but I didn't here. I just used the regular one, and it makes a really thin, pretty bracelet. But if you wanted it to be a little thicker, you could also just use some yarn or maybe double up on that, okay? Right here I have yarn, and for the pieces that are going to be the design, that are going to be seen, I cut that a little bit longer, as you can see here, than that anchor piece that's going to stay in the center. So my black and yellow is what's going to show. My anchor piece is this little cream right there, okay? Of course, we take a piece of cardboard from our last loom. Just some scrap cardboard is fine. You can always use tape to tape it down if you need to, or a clipboard. Now I'm going to go ahead. I've tied a knot at one end, and I'm going to anchor that in one end. At the other end, I'm going to make another notch in my cardboard, recycled cardboard loom, and that is where I will place my anchor thread, which goes down the middle with my black and my yellow, which is going to be what is showing and making my pattern in my bracelet, like this pink and purple I did here, and this white and blue did here. So I now have that. And all I'm going to do is be making the simple D knot as well as the simple 4 knot. What do I mean by that? I'm going to be making knots with my yellow that look like the letter D, just like we did before. My black is going to make the number 4. So there you go, 4D. Let me write that with a better black marker. 4D. Of course, when you really need a marker, you can never find a marker. I'll tell ya. There we go, 4D. Cool. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'll show you. We remember our D knot, right? I'll just start with that one because we did it before with our Chinese ladder stitch bracelet. So there's my D, right? My letter D. Whoop. I bring that back down, around and through the back, and bring that up to make my first knot. Now I'm gonna do my 4. 4. Keeping that out of the way. Once again, there it is, number 4. As you can see, I take that knot, bring it around the back, and then pull that up right next to it, right next to the yellow knot. Let's do it again. We are just going to do this over and over again, alternating between my D and my yellow. my 4 in my black. D. And 4. And it looks so cool already. I'm gonna do this one more time before I speed it up. D. And my 4, and you can already see it's starting to look really, really cool. I'll hold that up for you, and you can see it's already starting with the little stitchy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up into time lapse and finish down. And then we'll start to finish this off. We'll do what I do for that. See ya at the end.